Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Novika. Today, I would like to present about my analysis journal, and the title is Improving the Student's Speaking Ability Through Role-Playing Technique. So let's do the first slide. First slide is background of problem. The researcher found out that the students have low speaking ability, and referring to this result of the observation, informal interview, document study, and analysis, the researcher supports that the above unsatisfactory proficiency in the students speaking is not caused mainly by the students' low motivation, high anxiety, or limited vocabulary. Rather, the primary cause of their poor skills is the enough technique the teachers utilize and the inadequate space they provide to facilitate students speaking. Hence, it needs to propose an appropriate technique to overcome the students' low speaking ability. Next slide is the I'm research from this journal. This journal has 7 I'm research, and those are: first, deciding on the teaching materials; second is organizing the group of the students; third is providing the situation and dialogue to be role play; fourth is teaching the dialogue for role play; fifth is having the students practice role plays; sixth is having students modify the situation and dialogue; and the last one is having the students perform the dialogue in front of the class. And the next slide is literature review. First, Lustari has observed the English instruction in some senior high school does not demonstrate a satisfactory result. Many students fail to reach the goal of the English teaching. They are not able to communicate with the language either orally or in written form, although they have learned English for many years. Next is Huang has taught in her study concludes that role play is really a worthwhile learning experience for both the students and the teacher. Not only can students have more opportunities to act and interact with their peers trying to use the English language, but also students' English speaking, listening, understanding will improve. Next slide is research method. The researcher implemented the action in the form of cycles following chemist and MC Taggart's model, namely planning, implementation, observation, and reflection. And then location and participant. The study was conducted at one of Islamic private high school in East Java, Indonesia. There were 24 students of the 11th grade in the second semester academic year participating in this research. And next slide is result. There's result from this journal. The researcher as the teacher can improve the student to ability speaking in front of the class. Based on data from the cycle to the following cycle, this can be seen from the result of each cycle. The student speaking performance improved from 41.7% of all students who could reach at least good level at the first cycle to 66.7% of all students in the second cycle. Another finding shows that the students enjoy performing role play because of its challenging nature. It could be seen from their performance in front of the class. The classroom atmosphere became more alive, and all students were actively involved in teaching and learning process. They laughed at other group members who made any mistakes. They seemed relaxed and excited during the performance period. This means that there is an improvement on the student's self-confidence. The findings show that the student's self-confidence also improved from 37.5% of all students who could fulfill 5 of 7 indicators in this study at the first cycle to 62.57% of all students in the second cycle. This improvement might be due to some benefits of role-play technique, since the criteria of success are 1. 16% of the students reach at least good level of speaking qualification, and 2. 60% of the students fulfill 5 of 7 indicators of high self-confidence. So it can be said the implementation or role-playing technique was success and might be and meet the criteria of success. The next slide is conclusion. The researcher implement 7 major steps in the procedure of the role-play activities. First, the teacher decide on the teaching materials. The second step is organizing the group of students. The third step is providing the situation and dialogue to be role-play. The fourth step applied by the researcher in implementing role-playing technique is explaining the situation in the cue card as well as the dialogue. The fifth step is having the students practice the role plays. The sixth step is having students modify the situation and dialogue. The last step is having the students perform the dialogue in front of the class. And the researcher as a teacher can make students increase their self-confidence when speaking in front of the class. The student had achieved the success indicator target of speaking skills and self-confidence in cycle 2. The last one, student can make atmosphere become more alive, and all students were actively involved in teaching and learning process. They looked at other group members who made any mistakes. So I think it's enough from me. I'm sorry if any mistakes. Thank you for attention and watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.